Hello everyone, it's Andy Glenn here from Sharks TV, welcoming you all to another Sharks TV podcast. It's Coach's Corner and joining Martin Grubb. In the table opposite me, it's also Nolan Gardiner. Afternoon both.
Good afternoon, thanks for having me.
How are you, Andrew?
I'm very well, Martin, thank you very much.
Great.
It's a very, very polite start to what is a very positive start to the hockey season. It's great to be back and it's great to have you guys back. Thoughts? Both of you first before we go into the detailed analysis. Opening weekend?
There was some really good parts on Saturday. Some really good parts. I think anybody that scores 5 goals against Leeds, who obviously won the league 2 years in a row, are clearly doing some good things on offense. Let's not beat about the bush. The penalty kill was definitely the downside of things. But, I still thought there was a lot of good things on the Saturday. Sunday, credit goes, every piece of credit goes to the players because we asked them for a bit of a response. We mixed a couple of things up in terms of the lineup a little bit. Our penalty kill was changed, and anybody that watched either at the game like yourself or on the stream would see that we blocked a ton of shots, and I don't think there was a below average performance by anybody in the group. So and we finally kind of got the monkey off our back, so to speak, against Telford. So I think 2 from 4 is certainly a much more positive start. It took us 8 games last year to win, so
yeah.
We're on the board. We've got cup points on the board as well. So I liked what we had, and obviously helped by this man sitting beside me. The goal scoring was there. Chances were being created. So it was, I think it was pretty good.
Absolutely. When you talked about scoring 5 goals against Leeds, Mr. 5 goals in the first weekend, Nolan, wasn't that a bad start, was it?
I think it was a good start. Like Martin said, there are a lot of positives to take from that first game. Scoring 5 goals against Leeds is big. And we knew, like I said earlier when I was talking to you, going into the season, there's going to be things that you have to tighten up, and it might take a few games to get there. So we knew that we were going to have to fix some things going into the second game, and I think we did that. And Telford was circled on our calendars after last year, not being able to get points from them. So it was nice to get that done and get that early start.
See, I knew you weren't going to talk about yourself, but I'm going to have to talk about you because you are the league's top scorer. I know it's only a couple of games, but hat-trick in the first game against the champions is an amazing start, and then those 2 goals down in Telford as well. It's what we need you to do, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I want to help any way I can, and obviously it's nice to help scoring if you can do that.
Martin, your thoughts on Nolan's performances at the weekend, saying he's sitting next to you?
Yeah, I think what people forget about Nolan is, of course, the goals this weekend. Yep, everybody's seen them, and he scores all sorts of goals, but people forget his all-round performance. I mean, you just heard him speak there. It's team first.
Yeah.
It's humble. It's the reason that both all three imports. But it's the reason we wanted them back. Is it's good people, but he's got an eye for a goal. Through that U Sports career, it was slightly different role at times, and he's come here. He's realised he's got a bit more freedom, a chance and an opportunity to showcase like the real talent that he has, and I set himself a high standard now. 5 in a weekend, and in less than 5, then I'll be on his case now. But it's you could see it though. It's a huge help for us. I think any team, every team, they need their top players to perform, and clearly on the weekend, Nolan done that, and it's a great start. It's nice to see him play with that smile on his face, and long may it continue.
What's the best thing about him?
I don't know. I can't possibly answer that.
Well, is it his music choices from game 1? Because they weren't bad, let's be fair, and you are the kind of music guru in the team.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It
was okay. Yeah.
There was no Celine Dion, there was no Nickelback, and I was expecting some Canadian.
Maybe Brian Adams, I mean,
but no, it was good stuff. I quite liked it.
Hey, if that's what it takes every week to get the goals, we'll have Nolan's music every week.
Right, you're getting your music played every week.
That sounds good to me.
He could be a worse DJ than some of the guys in our room, Andy. So
that's for sure. Well, I've asked you, Martin. You've just avoided the question, like the professional coach that you are, about what's the best thing about Nolan. Nolan, what's the best thing about Martin?
Well, what I really appreciated when I came here for the first time to get a little bit of a leash offensively, like Martin said, I'd never really had that before. So I've kind of developed some new skills that I never had
Cool.
before going into last season. I like the preparation before games. We're always prepared in who we're playing against. And coming from U Sports and junior hockey in Canada, I really like systems. And Martin really likes systems. So in the defensive zone and the neutral zone, I just like to follow that. So that's really nice as well.
That's quite cool. I quite like that. Yeah. Your thoughts, Martin?
Made me sound really good there.
Did make you sound really
pay
good.
him or maybe play him some more.
Is there cash exchanged hands? You didn't know the questions beforehand, so you couldn't have set that up.
100%. No, but I think Nolan's right. Where when you've played any really good level of hockey, which anybody that knows anything about U Sports, it's a relatively low scoring game. It's a bit of a chess match most nights, and obviously I'd done my homework. And I think we might have talked about this last year, but there's a mutual friend, Dave Crawford, that I knew from a long time ago, that is friends with Nolan and the family. So even feedback on there, I knew what I was bringing in. And it's really nice to hear that he likes that offensive kind of being let off the leash, because it's definitely the game's developed, and I know how hard he works on that, both on and off the ice. As all the team are now. So that's it's simple. A happy player is a better player. If we can get a bunch of happy players, it means a happy team, and a happy team is happy fans, and then hopefully a happy coach.
I was going to mention the fans, because last year, new team, everybody coming in, and new league and all the rest of it, there was that getting to know the new team from a fan's perspective as well, wasn't there? So this season, the fans are right behind the team minute one. They know their favourites already, type thing, and the fans are 100% behind the team, aren't they?
Yeah, I think that you and I, obviously we've done a series of podcasts over the summer and the build up to the season, and I don't know, people will take it however they want to take it, but there was a couple of times I was maybe a little bit stronger than I have been in the past, of saying almost calm down, relax, like the group we've got are still a good group. And we did explain that just coming into the league with a little bit of knowledge this year would certainly help us, and that as coaching staff and as a club, that's how we felt. And I think the weekend, for all it's 2 games, like, let's not get carried away by any stretch of the imagination, but I think that group have proved that instantly they know the league already. Like as Nolan said, just by kind of marking Telford in the calendar, is it's a bit of rivalry just simply because they more than got the better of us last year. So taking that little step forward, competing. I know we beat Leeds once last year up here, but continuing to compete for game one, and hopefully the fans can see that the work the club and the players have put in. And I think Nolan will be able to talk more than me, but I think the players appreciate that as well, because there's already a relationship, and then they've got that little bit of an opportunity to just show that they're getting better themselves, and the fans appreciate it.
Nolan, a connection with the fans?
Definitely. I love the fans, and I know them all on a very personal level now, like a lot of them after being here for a while. So it's nice to see familiar faces. They've always been supportive, and like our team was through ups and downs last year. So to stick with us and be right behind us right off the start here is very nice.
Well, let's have a look at some of the key highlights from the weekend. Martin, you've got your laptop up. I don't know if we're going to look at every goal or every incident, but we'll let you choose.
Yeah, I mean, it runs relatively quickly, but you look at, up until this part, 10 minutes, I thought we'd had a really good start against Leeds. They get on the PP, rebound, and ultimately we tried to get that puck out the zone there, and, it gets to the top. I think you've got to credit Finn Braden for a good tip. Would we like to have tied his stick up? Yes, but it's unfortunate. This one for me, you see it in a second, it's just a bad bounce. Marzi tries to bat it away, can't really do much else. Off the back, kind of comes off the backboards, and Bissonnette's got a long stick when it gets to that stage. And right here, he tries to bat it, could have ended up anywhere off Marzy's stick, and a little bit unfortunate for us. Then, we spoke in the end of the first period, just being patient, and our chances would come and trying to play on the offensive. Thought we get a good save here, a little bit of structure, and then we actually skate. We get on our horse. Then he gives it to Guards. He's driving wide, puts it into that danger area. He told me he meant it, so I believe him.
Yeah, I meant that.
So, and I think that goal there, it gave us a bit of confidence to show that we can play. Then it goes a little bit more, a bit basketballish. It was up and down, and again, this one's just we almost flash screen ourselves. The D tried to switch to get on the right side, takes Marzy's eyes away, and it's just unfortunate. This one, I still keep watching to see whose actual goal it was.
On stream, I was hoping Mar touched it last, just to claim the goal.
I think it kind of just hits Dunny there.
It's bizarre.
It's one of them we discussed that in an interview where you see it on TV from time to time. I don't think I'd ever been involved, but the unfortunate part for me is this here though, because we said at the time, we get that bit of freak goal, so we have to kill this. And then as we could see, even just for the build up, we kill the start of it. Like we've got them on the outside, and then when it goes back to the top here, it is a good shot. I think it gets that tip on it at the post, but you'll see the difference on the Sunday. We block shots on the Sunday. We can block a little bit more here. But the one thing that was, I really liked the fact that we still kept going. Archie makes a really good pass here. Again, we work on that during the week, driving them back. Nolan goes into that kind of F3 position where he knows he should be, and he knows he's getting a chance to shoot the puck. So, again, we get ourselves back into the game. Then again, we go in the kill. I think this was the one where we had just killed off the 5-on-3.
We done well in the 5-on-3 as well.
And that was probably our best kill of the night. And then, we left Endicott alone. And he goes just over Marzy's shoulder. And
he's a good wee player though, isn't he?
Yeah, obviously I've had Ollie for 3 or 4 years now in the GB programme, and he just works so hard. But again, you get back to it where a little bit of set play, got a bit of patience, we move the puck well. Callie knows that there was a little spot in the middle there. Good save, to be fair, and there's Gazzy just doing what he does in and around the net. That's a real poacher's goal, that one for me. Then, this is the hard bit, because we talk about if you get something for this last period, you win the last period, you get something for the game. Very quickly, we find ourselves behind the 8 ball. I think the Scotty had literally stepped on the ice for us by a second, or again it would have been another power play goal, and just couldn't get it out of the zone when we needed to. And then before you know it, you're trying to regroup, and I think they kind of just caught us cold here. We get a little bit of bounce, we get beaten there, and it's
the energy,
kind of give and go.
The energy we felt to go out the rink with that from the fans as well.
And again, we try and keep battling, try and keep creating chances. We stuck Torrin on this power play, and you could see at the net front, he was just eating as much of the guy's time as he could and took space away. And then we get another chance, a good shot, good save, and we found some success there. And then we've done it before. We pulled the goalie. We thought we had to try. I think just off camera, for me, it was a penalty on Dunny, but it's probably just going to sound a bit like sour grapes now. But we see Jamie's arms going up, but we felt we had to go there, and we had to try that, and had to try and see if we could pull off something miraculous. I think
What was the feeling in the dressing room after that game, Nolan?
Well, one thing that we really liked is no one ever gave up. We were right in it until the end of the game. Obviously, we knew there's some things we had to tighten up, but we had done a lot of good things too, and we kept battling until the last couple seconds of the game. So at that point, when you play the next day, you kind of just have to get over it and get ready for the next day.
Yeah, second period was great. The fans, there was a huge energy at the end of the second period. But, you know, less than 24 hours later, you were on a nightmare journey down to Telford, which I think you only got there about 20 minutes before you were due on the ice, really, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think that, you know, we touched on it pre-game, how it can have an adverse effect sometimes because you can't do the usual routine and, you know, guys can stretch and just fully prepare. But on the flip side, there is sometimes that element where there's no extra time to think. It's just in and get ready to play. I thought we started well, and then, you know, I think that both teams had some chances early doors. We probably started better than we have in Telford. And I thought actually this one, you know, they opened the scoring here when we try and go cross ice. It gets picked off. They move it really quickly. That's a good shot, good finish. But I think we were just getting on top at that stage. But again, we could have stopped. We could have let that get in our head, having a difficult place for us to play. Then we get on the power play. We move it around. I think that our power plays had some really good looks over the weekend. And you know, this one, it kind of bounces out and Arcee's coming downhill in the right spot there so that we get ourselves back on the board. And I thought we'd had
a 5-1-3 in there at that point, hadn't we? It just went to 5-1-4.
Then we drew up. We had a good look on that, but we drew it up, and then we knew we had to capitalise on at least the 5-on-4, which obviously we did. And then you know, that's a really nice goal. I think this is Mace driving wide and just showing the ability we all know within our dressing room and our camp that he's got.
And he'd been at hospital the night before as well, hadn't he?
He'd been getting checked the night before, and but credit to Mason, he wanted to play. Got us 2-1 up, you know, and actually we had a couple of good looks. I think their stream goes down just slightly here. They go cross ice a bit like we tried to do earlier. You have to be fair to
the nice finish.
Luca, you can't give him that room. Then I think we got a little bit ragged, just for a few shifts. We forgot to just shut the back door a wee bit. Like, we left ourselves again in a kind of one-on-one where he gets through, and you know, I'm not even sure if the guy is difficult in that picture. I'm not sure if Stent's stick knocks it between Marzy's legs or the guy scores. But again, like Nolan said, from the Saturday night, there was no quitting this team. We knew at the start of this period that we had another power play opportunity, and we wanted to capitalise. And you know, I think their own defenseman takes a goalie's eyes away, but Nolan finds that top corner. He knew exactly where he was shooting, back across the goalie.
That wasn't a typical goal for you, Nolan, was it? Quite liked it though.
Yeah, I liked it.
Well, we kind of just made that little change there. We put him up top so he could shoot the puck on that one, and
it was good.
You know, I guess it looks good when a player does that, and for everybody. And then credit again to the big man. He was feeling it at this stage, so he gets a little bit of fortunate bounce, but he dances through and finishes. And I think at this stage we were now in the ascendancy. We were feeling good about ourselves. You could see even just on our breakout and stuff there, we had a lot of options, we had a lot of speed in our game. I think Telford at this stage were running around a little bit, a good turnover. Nolan goes bar down on the backhand here, and this was now about managing the game. And we discussed it a lot on the bench of no frustration, you know, not changing the way we play, but managing the game. And I think this was on the back of a soft, for me, I thought the game was officiated well, but it was a bit of soft call on Kersey in front of the net. But Scott McKenzie, you know, I've known Scotty most of my life, and he's got great hand-eye, and you know, he picks that puck out of the air and makes it maybe a bit more of a tense finish than we'd like. But you know, without being disrespectful to anybody, I mean, our team, myself included, for last year, we might have found a way to tie or lose that game last season. But I think, you know, you don't see it just on the goal reel, but we made a couple of huge blocks.
Stenton's block on Luca was immense.
Yeah, I think Kersey made one as well. Maybe just after that, and then we took a couple of penalties, and
They pulled the keeper, and
pulled their
it
goalie.
did feel a bit tense in the stands watching it, but you kind of said to me that you were quite comfortable and confident.
I mean, Nolan will be able to tell you how the players felt, but as I said that to you, I actually this time didn't feel like we were going to concede. I was quite confident, and I think one of the keys was, and Nolan was our sentiment at that stage, but when we had draws, face-offs, we were decent on the draw. I think they won one of the 4 that we had to take there. One of them, he went forward on purpose, and it goes to catch him by surprise and ends up out the zone. But we never at any point, none of the players did. Again, this goes back to maybe a year smarter. Nobody was interested in empty net from our own zone and just getting face-offs and icings. And it was just getting out over the zone or blocking a shot and just making sure that, again, we managed and we done enough to win the hockey game rather than, let's see, there's an empty net, let's see who could try and seal the deal for us. The deal was sealed by winning the game rather than somebody trying to. I mean, again, because Nolan's beside me, it could be very easy for him as a penalty killer there, as a sentiment to go, I'm going to get another back-to-back hat tricks, and somebody picks someone out the air or it hits a skate or it could end. But
it was noticeable. We tied the puck up on the outside to kill
the puck on the wall. We kept aim to the outside. Couple of huge blocks as we discussed. So, and I say no one will be able to tell you for the player side it, but I thought we were comfortable enough, or comfortable as you can be with that. And obviously, as you say in the stands, it's always a bit different. But I think the boys deserve huge credit, and Marzi shut the door when he had to, and was good all weekend for us. So. Just made it a good weekend. I thought, as we said earlier, a decent start on the Saturday with lots of good things, albeit we would have liked to have taken someone for the game. But it's always character when you get a chance to go the next night, and you could lose the game against a team that you've only taken 1 point the whole season for last year off, and find a way to win this time round and find a way to lose. So,
well, before I bring you in to answer that question about how the players were feeling, there are a couple of points that I'll make as watching it. The PK on the second night was night and day. It was so much better. But also the thing that was really distracting for fans watching it was I could hardly see the lines on the ice. I mean, it was difficult to even see if the puck was out or in because it looked the blue lines were just hardly visible at all. But the fans that were there were having the last minute or so when there was face-offs and all the rest of it. Everybody was checking their watches to check their heart rate. And a wee shout out to Kirsten. Kirsten, you won the competition with a heart rate of 157 when we were watching the hockey. What was the heart rate of the players, Nolan? Were you quite calm and confident, as Martin says, or were you a little bit tense?
I think it was the same for us. We were pretty comfortable. I think after playing for a year, we're starting to learn how to play with a lead. Winning hockey, we like to call it. And I think that's what we did. We just knew we had to finish off that last couple of minutes there and get the win and get out of Telford and back down the road.
I think it would have been a lot calmer if we'd have just kept that 2-goal lead. You just make it that little bit exciting for the fans. Appreciate that. But, 2-goal lead would be fine for us.
It's an entertainment business, Andy.
Well, we were certainly entertained there. And congratulations both of you for, a really good opening week. But we look forward to this weekend because it doesn't get any easier, does it? Swindon away and then Hull Seahawks at home. What's your thoughts on them?
Swindon, in Swindon last year was one of our toughest nights. They beat us really, to be honest, really comfortably. Harren's got a good team there. They've not really changed too much. A couple of new imports, with good experience. They started well on the Friday night at home against the Bees. And then they were, for looking at the game, they were really comfortable until
last couple of minutes, wasn't it?
57.5 minutes. And, I watched kind of Aaron's interview and he's right. Kind of one bad shift on a back of a power play gave the Raiders some life, credit to them, and they've obviously ended up on the wrong end of the scoreline in overtime. And, we know how difficult it is a place to play in Romford. So I think the hard bit for us now will be, there's huge travel going to Swindon, but they're going to now want to come back with that bounce back that obviously we had on Sunday there. So, but we'll go there full of confidence. We've obviously got a couple as we record now. We've got a couple of practices still to go. We'll prepare as best as we can for to go down there and be resolute in our own zone, but still play on the front foot as much as we can. And, again, no pressure, but if Gardsey comes up with a hat-trick every night, then we'll give ourselves a chance. But I think it will be a tough game, but every game in this league's tough. And then Sunday we face a team that scored a lot of goals on the weekend. I think they scored 20 goals and conceded 4 maybe. And we'll come in here full of confidence. Again, whether they play with 2 imports or 3 imports at this particular stage, we don't know, because I think Caden Hannas has been announced as leaving that club. But, Matty's built a team there. Got a lot of talent, a lot of depth. They play very offensive. We had good success against them last year, probably because they play offensive, and again, we can just go almost fight fire with fire. So if our special teams can be good, then we can be solid across all 3 zones, and there's no reason why, like every weekend, we're still aiming for 4 points. So we'll see on Sunday night where that prediction kind of comes. But we've got a good team ourselves. We're full of confidence, and we'll manage the game as much as we can, and see how we go. On Sunday, a wee side note and a wee shout out. It'll be nice to see Callum McGill back in the Shark Tank. I know his dad Tom is over for Canada to see Callum play, so we'll be able to welcome Tom in to see him as well. So it'll be nice to see Cal, but hopefully we send him down the road with no points.
Yeah, absolutely. Nolan, your thoughts on the weekend's games?
I'm just really looking forward to the games. Excited, not so excited for the trip to Swindon, but excited for the game there, and then really looking forward to another home game here. So I'm just ready for the weekend, ready to get going.
Well, I know there are a few Sharks fans travelling down to Swindon, and they're going to stay over and come back the trip. So that's dedication to them. Well done for the people who are going down to that game. And there is, of course, a watch party on for the Swindon game on Saturday here. So get along to that if you can. I think it's a donation of a £1 as a minimum, but give what you can to the club. You're saving your money rather as watching a stream, and you'll be surrounded by a few other Sharks fans as well. So that'll be worth seeing as well. Thank you guys so much for taking the time this Thursday to come along and see me, especially when it's so nice outside. You've been playing basketball outside, Nolan, I believe?
Not today, but earlier this week, yeah. Lots of basketball, a little bit of golf, and some pickleball, actually.
And pickleball as well. It's tough being a professional hockey player, isn't it?
Well, I have to fill my day.
Activity.
Fantastic. But thank you both for joining us. You are going to get the final word as usual to say a wee message to the Sharks fans, but I'm going to say thank you for tuning in to watch this podcast. Remember to like, share and subscribe, please, and hit that notifications bell. Last word to Nolan and Martin.
On you go, Nolan.
Thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, and we're looking forward to a great weekend here.
Yeah, opening weekend was good. Thanks to you guys. Again, it's the support is greatly appreciated. The noise in this building was good. We're trying to put performance on every week for you, so hopefully we can do that again this weekend. If you can make the watch party, make sure you do. If you can get the home game, make sure you do. And Andy, I need to say I like your new jersey as well. So
the new jersey is the Solway Sharks season ticket holder option, so it's got a bit of everything on it, as you said earlier. So they're available for collection this weekend as well. So if you're a season ticket holder and you ordered a jersey, it should be here. So look forward to that as well. And we'll look forward to welcoming the Sharks back on Sunday, and hopefully seeing the still at that point league's leading scorer add to his tally, Nolan. Take care, everyone. This is Andy Glenn saying cheerio.